there is you, there's the people around you, and there's a community, and once you think of the bigger picture, it's much easier to grow as a person and mean something to more people. So yeah, I don't know.
We're back. This is the second series of A Place Called Resilience podcast. I'm Martin Perry. I'm with my co-host, Emmy Schaling. Emmy, greetings.
Thank you, Martin.
And tonight we have a special guest joining us from Leiden in Holland, musician, mother, creator, an all-round special person, Willemijn Knoedler. Willemijn, greetings.
Hello. Hello, Martin and Emmy.
Hello.
Hi.
Now, before we begin exploring your journey and relationship with resilience, I'd like to ask Emmy, first of all, who championed for you to be on the show for a number of months. Emmy, tell me about your relationship with Willemijn.
Well, Willemijn and myself, we met in 2017 when she was my example at the Royal Conservatory in The Hague, how to deal with and teach young 5-year-old children how to play the cello. And she was very welcoming, not only for the children, but also for the parents, as well as the other cellist teachers who wanted to learn the art from her, how to approach cello teaching just by ear, without any scores, because 5-year-olds don't read yet. So it was a very playful, a loving way of introducing music and especially playing the cello to very young children. That is how we met.
Willemijn, what was your first recollection of Emmy?
Well, yeah, that she came and listen in the lessons I gave. And well, the others were I think bachelor students, and Emmy was obviously already someone who had experience, and that made it also interesting to me, of course, because then you can really exchange experiences, and so it was not only a one way. She was not only looking at how I was doing stuff, but we could talk about it afterwards. So that's what I remember. Yeah.
True.
So, this is A Place Called Resilience podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to understand more, deeper, explore, ask questions about the quality of resilience. What is it, and what part does it play in our life, our growth, and our development journey? So, Willemijn, what part has resilience played in your life?
Well, yeah, I think I think it's something that always surprises me that it's there. Because I think I usually think when I do this or that and there's a negative reaction to it, I might not survive. I feel like I cannot make a mistake, or because I don't know how I would feel. But whenever I do go out there or get over myself and I do it, then I'm actually surprised that I'm still here, and nothing nothing bad happened, and everyone is still smiling and kind, and so that's throughout my life. It's been a little bit of a struggle in a way, but now lately, since I think I'm a mother, um, I it's easy, a little bit easier to push myself over these, yeah, how do you call these, you know, over, yeah, I get over myself a bit quicker, and I do something easier. It's easier to do something because it's better for someone else. That's it, in a way. That's the way it works for me in general. I really like to help and see a bigger picture. So not only my own gain, but yeah, I would I always like to see my development as a person to not only involve my own happiness. So it's yeah, I like to see a bigger picture, like the family, the city, the world, to yeah, to join in develop my personal development. Um, I think that's what now brought me where I am now, and it's very necessary for me. I don't know if you would like me to tell you about what's going on in my life now.
Sure, please.
Yeah, yeah. So my son is 6 years old. I also have a daughter. She's 4, and my son turned out to have a very rare syndrome, which you can have a good life with, or have, yeah, or not. And he unfortunately has a brain tumor because of this syndrome on a spot that is also quite rare within this syndrome already. It's his brainstem, and therefore he needs to undergo lots of treatment. And yeah, he already lost his swallowing. I can't think of all the words now.
That's okay.
Reflex.
Mm.
So these are things we have to really deal with, and you cannot say, "Oh well, this is so bad. Let's quit." So you have to continue. And I've seen parents with sick children before because I play in hospitals a lot, and I always thought, how do they do it? How do they keep strong? But and then became in that kind of situation, and it just is something that comes quite natural, which is really strange, but a strange feeling that you really have to deal with it, and you have to stay strong, and you have to acknowledge your feelings. So it's not only okay, well, he has a brain tumor, let's have a party, but what are the possibilities? What can he do? What can we do? How do we give our daughter the best life she can have? How people are worried that we cannot go on holidays to whatever far away. And it's not even on our minds that we don't pity ourselves. We make the best of it. And in that light, I thought, okay, if we have to make the best of life, and my son's life, my daughter's lives, our lives, we have to continue we have to follow our own dreams. And therefore, yeah, I'm a cellist, so I want to play a lot. And it's not very easy in the Netherlands to have a job as a musician, or at least play a lot. It's easy to get to have enough money to survive, but it's not, not a way of living, I think, to just do it for the money. So I thought of a project that would help me keeping on developing my skills, myself as a cellist, and also help my son with his hopefully help him with his condition, and therefore also other children. Um, so it's not really only good for me. It's good for I'm helping to raise money for research for his condition by recording his CD. And this CD, all the proceeds from selling this CD is going into research. And I thought it was a very small thing I was doing because, how many people are buying CDs? I was being very, maybe a bit skeptical, but it felt like something, something I could do. So if there is a cure within 10 years or better treatment, um, I really want to help research getting closer to their goals. And the nice thing is then not only George, but my son is George, but also other people will benefit from that. And because I started this project, people started to donate money for me to make this to record the CD, and so much more than I could imagine. Like I got more than double the amount I was trying to get to make the CD. And now, yeah, it's going to be in newspapers and broadcasted, and so it's not only that I get the money for this syndrome, but also awareness for the syndrome. So it just I don't know how, but it's working from all sides. Like it's fitting. Every day I still discover things that just fit, and I cannot believe I thought of this idea. It came up in within an hour, and it's amazing. And it's a joint effort as well. It's through crowdfunding I got this support, and the only thing I have to do is just go and make it worth their investment. And it's like some people gave 10 euros, but what you can do with a lot of 10 euros, it's just amazing. And I feel actually quite privileged to be able to be the one that can you know uh do something with that money. And it helped me through a very difficult time at home, because at the same time as I was, practicing for the recording and getting the money in place to make the recording, almost at the same time we heard that George, my son, wasn't able to eat or drink anymore. And it is a whole process because, he had to get through all kinds of tests, and it's hard to believe in a way. So, we had lots of questions, but it did help me to see that there is so much more than a diagnosis, even a bad one. It doesn't make George the boy he is. He's more than his illness or his shortcomings or his diagnosis. And I think that the idea that I was, developing was helping me through having to deal with reality. And often I thought, am I not just, ignoring it by just working really hard? But it actually, yeah, it's I don't think I ignored my feelings. It was hard at times, but yeah, I did this higher goal, the that it was more it was very important to be busy with that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Emmy.
Yeah, it's lovely to hear you tell the story, because you're so determined to reach a higher goal, actually, and not for yourself, but for your child and for other children. And it's very humbling for me to hear how you have your intention and how many things from many sides just fit and come together to assist you in achieving what you've set out to do.
Yeah.
And some aspects are recognizable for me, because in my family there's someone with a cerebral infarct. And there too, the struggle is to see the person as their original self more than their disease. And I think it's so important for George to become a real George and to have that as the most important part of his life. And it's actually what struck me when we met each other in the clinic where my family member was too. And there was this young boy with a very finely shaped face. And he was tired, but he was still very sensitive to talk to us. And he heard about our dog. So he stood out later on, also because of the pictures that you sent, with his theater and fine ways of expressing himself. And I hope that you will manage to give him all the space to be as much as he can himself. So that's what I would say to your story. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the the beautiful thing about having a child with a disability is that you look at things very differently now. I think lots of people will recognize this. The world is different. When a cashier is grumpy, you don't think, "Why are you grumpy to me?" You think, "Are you okay? Did something happen? What can I do for you?" And so on the streets, when someone is not nice or is didn't see you coming, it's not before this. I might have thought sometimes uh, that it was would just be irritated, and now I think when someone doesn't see you in traffic, or there's something on this person's mind that is, I think, important, or keeping them busy. Um, and I think that is a kind of, well, probably kindness. Um, and I think maybe kindness and resilience are in a way related,
Mm.
because I think when you're kind to yourself, um, there's more space, I think, uh, yeah, to stay true to yourself, but also other people can rely on you much easier. I think you're really yourself.
Mm.
You can accept who you are, and yeah. Yeah, so for George, I think well, we hope he can, yeah, he does, he's not in a rush in life, he can do whatever he feels, and yeah, we are 100% sure that there is something he's giving others, and maybe not in a way you expect. So, for example, he's gonna join a choir, um, and he is very young, like the others. He's probably not able to stand for an hour, but not every child is the same, so that doesn't matter. He might not have the best voice for it. He's got a lot of trouble with his voice at the moment. But so you might think, oh, he's not gonna help the choir sound beautiful. He's not gonna help the choir present itself the concert in a way you would expect. But what he 100% is going to give the choir is his enthusiasm and his will to join in, and his smile and his presence. And So you can never say it's not always what you're looking for someone to contribute. I think you don't always know beforehand what it is that this person is going to contribute. So um, yeah, yeah, that's what I want to say about this.
I'm very
Yeah,
caught by this example you gave of grumpiness,
yeah,
which you translated into the sentiment and compassion of "Are you okay?"
yeah,
which then allowed you to see other life situations
yeah,
through what felt like a more compassionate lens, not being caught up in the drama of something, but looking beyond a person's behavior into what might be bothering them or troubling them, which felt to me compassionate.
yeah.
And I'm wondering how the situation that you've been thrown into, so to speak, what have you discovered about yourself that you may not have realized before, or experienced before, or felt
Something
before?
that was already there, you mean, or something that
Well,
I developed?
maybe something that was already there that you'd not felt or experienced in yourself, or maybe something that wasn't there that got drawn out of you.
Well, it's in some way, I think I was really forcefully taught to think of others. And I don't think it had to be forced upon me, but it was a little bit by my parents. Like, oh, if you do this, then this other person is going to be like. So I've always been very aware of other people, but I think it was, yeah, it also was enjoyable to do that. So I think I've always enjoyed helping out. At the same time, I never really minded to be in on stage or in the middle of attention, but I never wanted to do it if other people wanted it more or yeah. So yeah, it was actually maybe told, but it also feels like it didn't. I didn't have to be told to pay attention to other people's needs. And I think also through that, whilst I enjoy looking after other people, I was also maybe thinking that if I wouldn't keep an eye on their needs, that they would be angry with me. That's what a long time I thought that people would be angry with me if they didn't get their space. And I think now, so I now I like for example with the example with grumpiness is that you really notice that the world is not against a person, not against me. We're not against with everyone else against you or everyone else against someone else. And if you realize, when you realize that, then someone else's grumpiness cannot be your fault or cannot doesn't have anything to do with you. And when it doesn't have anything to do with you, it gives a kind of space to be there for the other person. So I mean, I'm not saying that I can solve someone else's problem, but if you give them space to just feel bad or not have their best day, I think that makes a huge difference to me, but also hopefully to others. You know, if otherwise I might have reacted. Why are you so grumpy? Act normal. This is your job. Why are you working here if you can't be kind? Um, but no, that's if I think yeah, allowing some space is good for me and good for them. Yeah,
When you set up the crowdfunding and had a target in mind
yeah.
and went beyond that target, what was that like for you? What did that say to you? How did that make you, not how did that make you feel, but what did that reveal to you?
Well, lots of feelings actually. So I had 40 days to reach 80% of my goal. And I was actually being too humble. I didn't ask for enough money in the first place because I thought, who am I? This might be a crazy idea, but I also felt a need to share this idea. And but within I think 1.5 days, I was already on my second target. So all the money I needed was within 1.5 days was there. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I should shut the crowdfunding now because I have it. I don't want to rely on other people too much, and I don't want to ask for more money. It's felt strange to do that. And the website people from the crowdfunding said, no, just keep it open because you might need a bit more money to arrange extra things. And I talked with quite a few people about it. Should I accept more money from other people, or should I just stop, close the crowdfunding campaign? And it felt also those 40 days a little bit, yeah, I didn't want to ask for money, but people were so happy to give. People really wanted, and they were happy that they were not too late to contribute. And 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 then I thought, okay, all the money I have extra is already going towards the foundation that funds the research. So that was, yeah. So people knew after a certain amount that they would be donating to research directly, and yeah, I felt. Because if you have your idea, I was alone in this room actually when I thought of this idea, and when it's supported by 588 people, it's just amazing. It's I just felt like, okay, this is a good idea, and it also made me, yeah, aim higher, I guess. Uh, well, I've got this release concert coming up in November, and I thought, why not ask the mayor of Leiden? Why not? So I looked him up. I could just send him an email. Sent him an email. An hour later, he says, "I'm coming." So I mean, he's maybe just the mayor of Leiden, but I like to invite the people from my city where I live, and I grew up here actually. It's not only me doing this for George or for children with the same syndrome, but it's what do I have to give to this city? And I wanted to show that to the mayor, and I would have never thought of doing that without this idea. So I got my strings sponsored. I got a very beautiful bow to play with on the recording. Yeah, people really want to help, and that's what I learned. People really want to help. It's what else do you do? Say, oh, I'm so sorry for you that your son is ill. That's horrible for most people to just sit there and watch us go through it. And yeah, people really were happy to be able to contribute to the whole idea. So it's all solo. It's all solo cello, well, mostly, but I'm not solo. It's 588 people are with me. It's yeah, it's incredible warm feeling, and it just, yeah, ideas keep on coming now because I can just make it. I'm thinking of funding a yeah, how do you say that? A stichting, an association, or a foundation, yeah, to actually keep the momentum of this idea going. And I can do that because the crowdfunding went so well. So everyone actually helped me to keep on moving with this idea, and yeah, it's a joint effort.
Yeah, Emmy.
Wonderful. Really wonderful. And your concert, I attended one of your concerts, you know. It was very warm and it was very humane. It was like family supporting you, beside the beautiful music that you played, and being very much yourself with commentary in between. So I'm happy to hear that there is some kind of a continuance, because it feels like a stone was dropped in the water, and the circles in the water are getting larger and larger, and it may have an effect much greater than you realize now.
Yeah. This is maybe the ripples are the momentum, maybe and I never liked doing things only for myself, and this is really giving. It's like a trampoline or what, I don't know. People have they have these metaphors, but yeah, I enjoy it a lot to be able to mean something to others. And there are lots of people that are very good at crowdfunding, by the way. There's this girl who's getting 200,000 euros per evening. Just, she's not for my calls, but for her calls. And she's amazing at it. And she's ill herself. She's getting famous people involved. I'm still a little bit hesitant to do these kind of things, which means that I won't get as much money, in as I could. But I want to keep it friendly, relatable, I guess. Um, and I like to be in control, I guess. Otherwise, you have to, give people jobs almost to do that. But yeah, yeah, it sounds strange maybe, but I feel once this idea was actually happening, people donated, I felt the support. I've always had a lot of inspiration, but now I really feel like a flower that's opening up. Now I see the possibilities. Yeah, I feel freer, and and perhaps because of that, more able to deal with harder things.
Mm.
Uh, yeah. But music is a way of dealing with your emotions, because all the pieces I'm recording are by composers named George. So it's a big range of different kinds of music. And but all these pieces have something to do with our situation. It's incredible. It's George Gershwin, Summertime. It's a lullaby for a mother singing to her child about the future she wants to have him. Um, there is George Enescu, a Romanian composer. Uh, it's a serenade, which is an ode, and this whole thing is an ode to my son.
Yeah.
There's this piece by George Crumb, and it's this solo cello piece, his only solo cello piece, is dedicated to his mother, and that rang bells. I thought, what was his relationship with his mother? Because I'm George's mother, and and then I heard in the music this interval, which is mother all the time. It must be mother. No
Yeah.
one knew why it was dedicated to his mother, but this interval is like, mommy.
Yes.
It's all over the piece. This is it coincidence? I don't know, but it's incredible that it's in this project. Or what else is there? There's a Ligeti solo sonata. The first movement is a love letter to someone he was in love with when he was a student. But and he is begging this woman to love him in this sort of love letter. It's a conversation within himself with her. But I felt it so much. It was a conversation within myself with hope and fear and wishes and future with for the love of my son. It was completely the same for me as being in love with someone. The second movement is wild. It's completely all over the place. It's enthusiastic and at the same time maybe a little bit angry. So when I was practicing that, I could really, you have all this power in your body, but you cannot do anything with it. But I could put it in this music. Um, yeah, I can keep on going, but every piece has something to do with our situation. And if that's the case, then it probably has to do with everyone's personal dragons. So, and when you realize that you're not the only one with, well, I call it dragons, then it's so much easier to carry heavy thoughts. If you would be the only one, then no one would understand you. And you don't have to, like this Kasia, this grumpy Kasia, I don't have to understand her situation, but I can understand that she has her own dragons. And yeah, the music is also about her then.
Mm. Yeah, I'm caught by your throughout experience, your enthusiasm, how you described George in the choir, actually. And isn't that a wonderful testimony of being alive, being human, and giving it all? And I hear you say that the situation you have created by playing for a cause far beyond your family, although it is meant for George. It has liberated parts of you that you didn't know were there or that you would not have dreamt of. And that's very inspiring for me, for my dragons. Very good to hear.
Yeah, it was not easy, by the way. I had a hard time preparing for this recording because I am a perfectionist, and you're never done, with a piece. So at the moment you record, it's not like you feel like it can still grow, and of course that's the case. But to accept that this is what you're recording today, but this goal I had kept me going, and uh, yeah, that was good. I think to experience to not stop when things are getting difficult. So this second movement of the Ligeti Solo Sonata, which I was just talking about, the one with the lots of enthusiasm and anger, it is, I think, the most difficult piece I've ever played, and I think I can play all these pieces, but it's still. People said, "Oh, but can't you make it a bit easier because you have a sick child at home and you have other things on your mind. Why are you just not doing something simpler?" And I thought, no, my son has to go to chemotherapy every week for 2.5 years. I'm not going to make it a bit easier for myself. Who am I kidding? It's much more difficult what he is doing. I am going to practice this until I just drop on the floor, and I'm just going to do this. I'm not going to make it easier. That's no fun. I want to go for it, and I want to see where it will bring me and the CD, the idea, the thought of fighting for something that is difficult. Um, and by saying it's difficult all the time, I mean, it's not bringing you anything. There is no way back, the only way is forward. So you go for it. And yes, I think that seeing my son going to, through a hard time every week, he needed to get a punctured in the chest, He hates it. I'm
Mm.
not gonna not practice this difficult pace. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was my inspiration actually, that I didn't want to stop.
No, that was one of my questions. What is your nourishment when you give so much? And I suppose it's in practicing and getting the best out of yourself, which can be very hard sometimes, as well as hearing where you're heading with the music. The music is must be your nourishment as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess well, yeah, of course there's technique, practice, and there's also a lot of times that you can lose yourself when you can play something or kind of already play something, then you can lose yourself in the moment. And is also a piece by Handel, Georg or George Frederick Handel, which is very comforting. And I never cry with films, or I never cry at concerts. But this piece was such comfort that I could actually lose myself in it, and really felt comforted by this simple theme, um, a lot of the time. So maybe it was validating my feelings. Um, they could be there. They were real, and yeah, I could translate them, I think, in the music. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm wondering, for anybody watching this podcast, what message of encouragement you may have for somebody in a similar or not dissimilar situation to yourself. What have you learnt that would give you the ability to offer an encouragement to others?
I was able to think, okay, I'm gonna make an actual recording, which is a scary idea in the first place. But I did that because a colleague of mine just made a very personal recording, and I thought, wow, she's doing it. Wow, this means we all need to step up and not be afraid to do it. And so that helped me. But there's also, there are unfortunately lots of parents in the same position as we are. And of course, not everyone is able or has the means to carry out an idea like this. And I also want to be careful um, in with this message. It's not like everyone can just do this, or I'm stronger than another person in the same situation, because everyone's situation is very different. And I happen to be a cellist, which is, well, in this moment, a blessing. But it's people are people in this situation like us. We're very tired and also sad at moments, and people stop working. They cannot manage to carry on with their lives, and it's completely understandable. So it feels as if I am showing the world to be brave and just show resilience. I don't want to be that person that thinks that's just easy to do this. But I guess I made use of my inspiration, and I just I've had loads of ideas in my life about it, and I not always executed all these ideas, but this was an idea I couldn't let go of, and I think it was right timing, right moment, right timing that I got this idea in my head, um, and then I met Emmy, and she says, "Oh, I'm doing this podcast about resilience," and I thought, "Oh yeah, resilience, maybe that's it, what I'm feeling." Uh, um, and but yeah, I'm also aware that not everyone has, not everyone has a nice cello at home to do this. Yeah, people who you're not seeing, you're not always seeing the people who actually show resilience, and they have a lot of it. I have something I can put in the public eye, but other people really just silently continue with what they were doing and having a hard time and showing resilience, but we just don't see it. And so I would say you don't always have to do something big to have it,
Mm.
to have the same, yeah, power.
Yeah, thank you. So we'll start to wind up now,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate you sharing your story. Um, Firstly, where can people buy the CD?
On my website.
Okay, so we'll put a link in with the
Yes.
credits for the for this podcast, yeah?
Thank you. It will be published, I think, on November 7th, also on all the like Spotify and everything. But there's no money to be earned on Spotify, so only by buying the CD you get you're sponsoring the research. But still, on Spotify, of course, people will know that it is for this syndrome, so you'll still spread awareness through that. Yeah, so but no, it would be lovely if more people knew about it, and yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for your sincerity, for sharing the the more difficult parts of your whole process. And I really wish you and your family the best. And I hope that people will be more aware of the disease, but even more aware than that, aware of the love and the passion that we humans can invest in something better to come. And a warm embrace for your family, especially George. And I wish you all luck and good fortune to keep going and have new ideas and to make this a better world by how you apply yourself. Really very encouraging.
Thank you.
So thank you for sharing your story of inspiration and courage and growth and learning and love and compassion. Any final thoughts from yourself, Willemijn?
Yeah, well, you asked what pe people maybe might get from my story, and of course, I want people to know about the syndrome, neurofibromatosis. But and I want my son to have a better life, a better future, but what you can get as another person from my story, hopefully, is that something to more people. So yeah, I don't know how to say that correctly, but uh, then you don't have to be shy, I guess, in expressing yourself.
Mm.
So, Willemijn, what message do you feel that the way you've responded to George and his syndrome, what message do you believe that may send to your own children?
Well, I think in general, as a mother in 2025, women work, women have a profession, women have passion, women have dreams, and I have a daughter and I have a son. I want both of them actually to see the that their mother is has a job, is working, has a passion, and is has ideas and is executing these ideas, and with great focus and energy, and uh, yeah, I think that's the best example you can give to your children. And of course, you want to be there for them all the time. Um, but isn't it great, I think, when you think back of when you were little, that you saw your mother fighting for her dreams and her passion, and at the same time, in this case, helping your brother or yourself. And this is the memory I want to give them about me, and hopefully it will help them not hold back in their own dreams and ideas, and they did see me work hard, by the way. I practiced many hours, and they didn't think that it was an easy thing to do for me, and I also actually think that is important for them to have seen. My daughter was drawing in the room here upstairs when I was practicing. She was just drawing and heard me practice, which means going over and over and over and over and over the same passage to be able to play it better and better. So yeah, I don't think we should hide these things from our children, and and therefore we shouldn't give up on our own dreams or passion. We need to take them with us in this process, I guess. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us today.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I
you.
hope many people are inspired and uplifted by your courage and story.
Thank you. I hope so too.
Emmy, thank you very much for co-hosting and having the wherewithal to invite Willemijn onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
So look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you,
Yes.
Willemijn.
Thank you
Thank you,
very
Emmy.
much, Martin. Yes. Bye.
Bye.